conversation dictates action, meaning whatever conversation I am having with myself is going to influence and directly affect what I do next. And it is our responsibility to be the guardian of our self-esteem. It's our responsibility to pay attention to those conversations, and the not so good ones, that we need to cut them short. We need to be able to positively interfere instead of them going on and on and on.
Hello, and welcome to the PSI Podcast, a podcast for you to explore where a life lived with purpose meets transformation. Each week, we will bring you powerful insights, inspiring stories, and real-world tools for you to break through your limitations, unlock your potential, and live the life you are meant to. I'm your host, Tim Bowen.
And I am your co-host, Mackenzie O'Kelley. For more than 50 years, PSI seminars and PSI World have helped thousands of people create the life they deserve to live. And now, it's your turn.
Welcome back to the PSI Podcast. My name is Tim. I am joined as always by Mackenzie. And today we've got part 4 in our 4-part series on overcoming fear and rejection so we can take our power back. We're joined by Renee Cermak, author of How to Be Your Biggest Fan, longtime friend and ally of PSI Seminars and PSI World. And Renee, we're just so excited to have you here. This has been a wonderful series. So if you haven't heard parts 1, 2, and 3, make sure you go back and give those a listen or give those a watch and then come back. We'll still be here. And so for this last segment, Renee is going to be talking to us about one of the most important skills. Maybe not the number 1 skill, that'd be in episode 3. So we'll call it the number 2 skill in overcoming fear and rejection. So what is that all about, Renee?
Okay. Number 2 skill to be successful, just so we're clear about what's the number 2 skill for. This is for optimal success, is your ability to positively interfere with your own negative self-dialogue, your limiting beliefs, and your overall BS. But first, that requires admitting that you have an overall layer of BS that you not only spend a good amount of time enrolling other people into, that you even have the nerve to spend a good amount of time enrolling yourself into your own BS. And what I mean is, like, when you're like, oh, I would have done that, but I didn't have time. And now, if we were to really look at, did you not have time? Or is that just kind of a line that you give yourself in order to absolve yourself for not getting done whatever you said that you needed to get done? And so we all, I believe, play a little BS with ourselves, and we most definitely attempt to enroll other people into a bunch of BS. And so I say that the number 2 skill for success is your ability to interfere with all of that. Otherwise, it's going to be running the show and not leading to really great results.
And it's easy, right? It's like it's our default mode. We go to excuses instead rather than taking responsibility and ownership.
And you know the people in certain ways that, oh, they'll buy this one, they'll buy this one, they'll buy that one. Like you get really good. I get really good at knowing who will buy it.
Let's tug on those heartstrings a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
you said, Renee, you said that, first off, we have to acknowledge that we have this inner dialogue and we have this BS that we sell ourselves. I think we also need to acknowledge that all of us, to a degree, manipulate other people. Call it enrollment, call it persuasion. There's some manipulation that is also occurring.
I'm just enrolling.
Yeah, and it's effective.
Yes. In fact, I have a 14-year-old daughter, and she's very good at enrolling my friends into lots of things. And one day I said to her, stop manipulating my friends. She said, Mother, that it is called enrollment skills. And there was little that I could say to that, because I taught her, most of what she knows. But when you think about it, when you first ask the question, how many of you talk to yourselves? And, we all talk to ourselves. And the question is, though, what are you saying to yourself? Because I imagine there's a head that sits on my shoulder and it's going 24 hours a day. It's like, the question is, what is it saying 24 hours a day? And is it in support of me doing great things, or am I cutting myself off at the knees like 25 times a day?
Mhm.
So, first, to acknowledge that there's a self conversation happening all day long, and that it is our responsibility to be the guardian of our self-esteem. And so it's our responsibility to pay attention to those conversations, and the not so good ones, that we need to cut them short. We need to be able to positively interfere, instead of them going on and on and on and saying, all the things that we're not able to do and what we're not capable of and what we don't deserve and da 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 da. So we got to be able to cut those short, redirect. One of the most valuable tools that I learned from one of my coaches. Her name is Kelly Poulos, and she taught me that conversation dictates action, meaning whatever conversation I am having with myself is going to influence and directly affect what I do next. So if I have, something big that's looming, a project, and my conversation with myself is, there's not enough time, it can't be done, that is not going to lead to a set of actions that's going to be successful by the deadline. In fact, that's probably going to lead to me creating a list of excuses so I'm ready for not being done by the deadline. Now, if I was having a different conversation called, there's plenty of time, I have an amazing group of people to work with, we got this, that conversation is going to lead to a different set of actions. And so it's my job to check myself. So I guess the number two skill is your ability to check yourself, your ability to hone into, what is my conversation that I'm having right now, and is it going to lead to the outcome that I'm looking for? Because I'll never forget when my coach said, frustrated people do not execute well. Like, it's such a simple sentence. But when I heard that, when I really heard it, frustrated people do not execute well. Like, you can interchange frustrated with almost any other word. Impatient people don't execute well. Upset people don't execute well. Annoyed people don't execute well. And so, yet how many times I found myself owning one of those feelings and still attempting to produce a result. Versus if I would have checked in and went, okay, you're frustrated right now. Please don't go make phone calls and waste 2 hours, because a frustrated person doesn't execute well. So none of those phone calls would have gotten me to the end result. So it would have been better to take 30 minutes to check myself, to check my attitude, to go run around the block, to do whatever I needed to do in order to change my mindset to one of success. To I'm And so one of the things that you can do is to make sure that you're ready to get done what you need to get done, because if not, there's a whole bunch of time being wasted, because you got to get yourself in the right mindset of, how do I need to be in order to produce this result? So that would be the first, coaching, is that if you have something big that you have to produce a result, how do you need to be to produce that result? And then to consistently check in to make sure that you're coming from that spot.
What I think that it's interesting, because this takes so much, like, that we're taking our power back, right? So like the voices that we've talked about, it could be like, well, you're not in the space right now, you're not being how you need to be, so take a break, and then it's a longer break, versus like, no, what do I need to do to shift right now, and not let it go, no, tomorrow you'll be ready, and go, no, I gave myself whatever, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and I need to shift. Almost sounds like a little fake it to make it, like, get yourself where you need to be, but not let it go too far, right? That it's like,
Well, yeah, remember, I don't feel like running. That's because you're not running yet.
yeah,
I mean, there's fake it to make it in that as well.
yeah.
Like, you don't feel it, like, start doing it and then you're going to feel like it. But whatever you got to do to positively interfere. And whether it takes, 2 minutes or whether it takes 30 minutes or whether it takes 24 hours, like you're going to have to evaluate that. One of the things that I recommend is that, with my 2 minute ones of like the conversation I'm having with myself is not going to lead to good things. So, what can I do to positively interfere? So, you can run around the block, you can pick up the phone and go be outward focused, meaning go tell somebody about their greatness, because when you're being outward focused, it's really hard to then go back into ineffective, you know what I mean? So my personally, like, I do a lot of push-ups. If my current conversation is not working, then I literally will drop to the floor and start doing push-ups. I'll start cracking up that I just dropped to the floor doing push-ups. But at the end of my push-ups, I'm having a different conversation with myself, and I'm not even remembering what started the push-ups. So whatever it is that you have to do, and some things are going to be a hip check that you can do in 5 minutes. And then other things you got to be, maybe, and my favorite word is not realistic. However, if you are upset, and you're not able to boom shift it like that, then again, the phone calls might have to wait till tomorrow.
And I've noticed so many times, like, we a lot of us work from home unless we're at an actual event. And like how many times where I'm like, I'm in it right now, what I'm doing is not working. And I'm like, did I go outside today?
Right.
Like, wait,
I
haven't even seen the sunlight today.
Yes.
Like,
There's so
take a
many
step,
steps.
take a breather, come back, and I'm like a whole new person.
Yep.
Mhm.
Sometimes
Yep.
I find like I just need to walk down to the mailbox and come back. Like let's go see if the mail came. Like just leave the computer for a couple moments.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whatever you need to reframe what is happening. It's the unconscious and allowing that to play. And then you go, I wonder why I didn't, create what I wanted to create. Because have you ever, I was thinking about that. Have you ever not even wanted to play with yourself? That
Yeah.
didn't sound good.
No,
That did not sound good.
I get where you're going with it.
Yeah.
And yes.
But I not want to
I mean, have you
be in a room.
ever been so sick of yourself where I'm like, I don't even want to be with you? No wonder there's a bunch of other people that don't want to be with you because you're being very unattractive right now. And so being able to have that conversation of calling yourself on being unattractive, and that, it's not them, it's you, and taking a little responsibility for how you show up and the ability to check yourself. I mean, do you see
Yeah.
why I'm saying that it's the number 2 skill for success? Not only because conversation dictates action, and if you allow not so great conversations to continue, they're going to run their course, but for the other reasons as well, as to, to like yourself and to be more attractive. Back to the number 1 skill of being able to enroll yourself and your ability to enroll other people. And your ability to enroll other people is by displaying attractive qualities and not by displaying unattractive qualities.
Right.
We say this all the time. Like, if you filmed yourself for 24 hours, would you want to date you or hire you? And in those moments when you're like, ugh, no, I sure would not. Like, it's checking yourself and being like, blah, okay.
Yes, because those are the things that this is why your vote is the only one that matters. You're the only one that knows. Even my husband, like, think about what he does. We maybe spend 1 or 2 hours a day together. That means 22 hours that he's clueless about what I'm actually doing. However, I know I'm the only one that, so my opinion is the only one that matters, because I got to go look in the mirror to see how I'm using my 24 hours and how much and how often I'm fighting for my limitations. And I know that my limitations are bullshit. So then I know that how much am I just simply wasting time in BS versus stopping the game, like having going back to the mirror and having an honest conversation with myself about, listen, Renee, you're running the bullshit on you, you're running the bullshit on everybody else. It's got to end, and then move on.
The BS. The BS.
The BS, but that ability to have a really honest conversation and to admit to the BS that you're running is, pretty rare. And that's another way that you separate yourself from the masses, right? And you do the things that unsuccessful people are not willing to do, call yourself on your bullshit. And ask your important people to call you on your bullshit too, because they will if you ask them.
Renee Cermak, BS.
I love you. We all love, for those that know her, for those that know Teresa Corbett, love her. And one of my favorite Teresa isms is stop, erasey, racy, racy. Like, this is not working. Erasey, racy, racy. And then let's start again.
Yes, it is. That's brilliant.
Yeah, and sometimes we can do that pause and start again right away. And sometimes, like Renee's saying, we got to take a beat. Let's distract ourselves. Let's do something that brings us joy for a little while. And sometimes it's, nope, I'm going to come back to it tomorrow.
Yep.
Well, and like, when's the last time, like, to be like childlike and like to literally blast music? Like, that has been recently, like, side note, we all watched the Super Bowl. Everyone here, we watched the Super Bowl together. And my new like hype song when I need to pause and erasey, racy, racy is I put on our Bad Bunny song and like literally sparks so much joy. And I'm like, okay, we're back. Here we go.
That's funny.
Yeah, that is a really good idea to have a list of, well, I always recommend having a list of 10 things that you can do to positively interfere at the drop of a dime. Like, what can you do real fast? However, to also have a list, like Mackenzie just said, of what are 10 things that you could do to spark joy so that you can, turn things around. And really, like, everything is about your ability to reframe, what's happening, because life is going to keep happening. So your ability to frame it in a way that keeps you moving and keeps you recognizing your greatness.
I love it. Because we are greater than that rejection. We're greater than the no. Hearing the no, right? Receiving no's.
That's beautiful.
All of that. Oh, thanks. Well, Renee, is there any last tidbits you want to leave us with?
Just that the most important place to invest time and money is in your self-esteem, because everywhere you go, there yourself is going to be as well running the show. And the more you like yourself, the easier it will be to positively interfere, and the easier it'll be to enroll yourself and others.
I love that. So thank you so much, Renee. This has been an amazing 4-part series. I really appreciate you. Everything that you've shared with us.
Renee.
Super valuable. For those of you listening in, watching us, if you're new to PSI seminars, if you haven't yet attended the PSI Basic Seminar, we certainly invite you to learn more, right? Just like Renee said, invest in yourself, whether that's your time, your money, just your self-esteem is worth it. And so you can learn more about the PSI Basic Seminar at psiseminars.com. And so with that, thank you.
Yeah, and you get to go find all of your upsets.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yes, and stop letting upsets, run you. Like, just go embrace them.
Absolutely.
Upsets are opportunities. I love that.
Go. Awesome. Well, thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us today for the PSI Podcast.
If today's conversation sparks something for you, don't let it stop here. Share this episode with someone who's ready for their next breakthrough, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss an opportunity to grow. I'm Tim Bowen.
And I'm Mackenzie O'Kelley. Until next time.